We all know that this has been a crazy year. Recruiters, like many others, have been hit hard with layoffs, and that's why I put this video together. This video is for anybody in talent acquisition or agency recruitment that's interested in quickly becoming an independent recruiter for however long you feel necessary, but on a serious budget. So a little background on me. In 2016, I opened up Analytics Associates, which is a recruiting firm specializing in placing analytics professionals and data scientists. And we're still in operation today. It's been an awesome experience, and looking back at the experience of setting everything up, it was so much more simple than I ever thought. And that's what the goal of this video is. It's not to convince you to follow in my footsteps, but just to guide you on how simple it can be if this is a path you want to follow. So here's 9 steps to opening up shop affordably. The first step, figure out who you want to sell to. Specialize. I've always gone by a business principle where if you try to sell everything, you're going to wind up selling nothing. And you can do this by researching what's currently in demand in the market, or look at the network that you currently have, or the skill sets that you have experience working with. The second step, you want to register your business with your state. You can get an accountant to do this, but it's really simple. You can save yourself some money by doing this yourself. For us, we filed in Florida, which was $125, I believe, and they issued us an employer identification number, or an EIN, which you need for the third step, which is open up a business checkings account. So just run a quick search. You can find banks that allow you to open up free accounts with no money down. It's really practical to do this because, come tax season, having a separate personal and business account, it makes things a little bit simpler for you. And while we're on that topic, I would identify a payroll service too. This way, when you do hit that first collection, then you can process your invoice to yourself, and they'll take out the appropriate amount of taxes for you. So step 4, you want to find an available domain. So what you want to do here is you want to go on GoDaddy.com and click Find a Domain. What a domain is, it's the website URL that people are going to type in to find your website. So when we started, our business name was Analytics Associates, but that domain was taken, so we went with analyticssearch.com. So here's an example. Let's say I wanted to specialize in placing candidates in e-commerce companies. So I typed in recruitecommerce.com, and let's see if that's available. And recruitecommerce.com is available, so I actually previously placed that into my cart. Now, you're going to eventually need a website, and with GoDaddy, you can actually have them host your website and get a reduced price on Microsoft Office or Gmail so that you also have an email server. Now, most domains cost less than $20, but bundling hosting in your email server, they offer some great deals, and you can get this done for around $100. If you see here, I have hosting, I have Microsoft 365, and I have my domain for a year, and it costs $95. Step 5, you want to make your business digital. So we actually went a different route when we launched Analytics Associates, but we later found Fiverr.com to be incredibly valuable. Fiverr is basically a marketplace of freelancers that provide digital services. You can find a highly rated WordPress designer to build a website for you for less than $200. Going this route, you're going to need to provide them with all the content that you want on your site. From there, you want to create social media profiles. And you also want to create your own business logo, but you can do that for free using softwares like Canva.com. I actually just created one. It took me 15 minutes with the domain that we just purchased. Step 6, use free resources. The amount of free resources available is incredible. You can find a solution to nearly anything by doing a quick Google search. For example, you can find a recruiting fee agreement. I still, to this day, use a free invoice generator to send invoices to my clients. And there are plenty of other applicant tracking systems that are out there that are either free or extremely cheap to use. We use Zoho, which was around $20 a month, but HubSpot has a free CRM for you to use. There are free resources out there like Hunter.io, Uber Conference, Calendly, Zoom. Even Adobe Acrobat allowed us to electronically sign our fee agreement so that we didn't need a printer or a scanner. Step 7, give yourself a strict budget. From a workstation perspective, you really only need a laptop and a cell phone. Sure, it's nice to have 2 monitors and a fancy headset, but you don't need it at first. Grow into it. That should be your reward after you make your first deal. You can treat yourself to those things. You want to operate extremely lean and grow into things slowly. Most firms that I've seen not work out wind up going crazy with expenses and run out of cash. But there is one expense that I think is critical, and that's LinkedIn Recruiter Lite. A basic LinkedIn account limits your usage views. With Recruiter Lite, you can get 1 free month and then pay around $120 a month. Now, because you have limited emails with Recruiter Lite, I recommend sending out tons of connection requests. And remember, once you're connected with somebody, you can view their contact information right here. And usually you can get their personal emails. Now, just a tip, be very careful on damaging your LinkedIn and your email reputation with going overboard with emails and connection requests. I'll make these last 2 steps really brief because there's tons of information out there that break these topics down in great detail. But the 8th step, you want to create a business development strategy. So your first year success is going to be determined by your ability to build relationships with companies that are hiring. Consume yourself with this because this is what's going to make or break you. The final step, you want to research where your candidates hang out. So yes, we all know that LinkedIn is one of the holy grails to job seekers. But you want to find unique ways to identify other candidates because you're asking companies to pay a really large fee for your services. You want to be valuable to them. You want to show them candidates that they can't find themselves. And one more free resource, feel free to use my partner company, adhires.com, to advertise your jobs that index directly on Google for Jobs to help you find candidates. I'll recap all the expenses that I discussed in the notes, but if you're interested in some other recruiting tips that we use every single day, check out our AdHires YouTube channel for our latest hiring hacks.